to
Zak and Buzz's
39 Days of Godzilla. Wow. So this we're back for our second entry in the Godzilla franchise.
Ooh, which one could this be? Yes, it's Gigantus the Fire Monster!
No, it isn't. It's Godzilla Raids Again. That is the true title of this movie. I have no idea who decided for the American market they should retitle it Gigantus the Fire Monster. That doesn't even make sense. Did you not see the first one? It's Godzilla!
Anyway, this is the second one.
Now, for this film came out the year after the first Godzilla movie, and it was hastily put into production and put out.
Pray tell, which year would that be?
1955.
1955.
So this is much like the original King Kong movie, where Son of Kong came out the year after because the first one was so successful. This one kind of suffers from the same sort of situation.
And am I correct in thinking it is the only other black and white one?
Well, unless you count Godzilla -1 minus colour.
Yeah, well they did.
Which comes way later on.
Traditionally, this is the
last of the colourless Godzilla movies before we go on to our next cinematic treat.
Anyway,
but that's for a future video.
First though, we need a synopsis.
What separates this one from the first one is very much the addition of an additional monster.
Oh, who's down here? Ta-da!
Who's that?
It's Anguirus.
It's Anguirus.
And here, look, I've got Godzilla as well.
Recreate the movie.
Recreate the movie. Here we go.
Okay, so this is very much where the monster brawl first came into popularity.
The first big old monster mash.
And when we say
mayhem,
this,
whatever.
for the majority of the movie between these two monsters, that is exactly what it is. It is basically them
Punch up.
basically. It's probably the most
like
WrestleMania like Godzilla movie out there. They are literally just tearing at each other.
You have an interesting fact about Anguirus as well, don't you?
Well, it is actually quite interesting. I haven't talked about the plot much, but
we'll get there.
We'll get there. When it comes to Anguirus, if you watch this particular movie, the spines on his back kind of look as if at some shots where they kind of fold up at the back, and that was because initially,
wait for it,
he was supposed to be able to fly.
Fly?
He was. And it was obviously incorporated into the design of the suit. However, obviously budgetary limitations, and obviously it just wasn't a feasible thing.
Decisions on the day.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Anyway, I want to know the synopsis.
So, film starts off with a fishing scout plane looking for fish.
A scout plane? I've
never scouting
been
plane.
Fishing in a scout plane.
Anyway, fun fact about the character, or the main character, one of the fisherman pilots. It is voiced in the American dub, Gigantus the Fire Monster, by George Takei, who plays Sulu in the original Star Trek, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, he discovers on an island Godzilla, Anguirus having a punch-up. And he's like, oh my god, there's another Godzilla, what's going on? This is really dangerous.
We killed Godzilla.
Exactly. Well, they did. This is a second Godzilla.
Yes, this is not the original Godzilla.
They tumble into the ocean.
Oh.
I like that. That was pretty good.
I've enjoyed this.
And the similar thing ensues where they attack Japan and continue their titanic clash of epic proportions. Yep, that is exactly how the movie goes. Literally, a lot of the time. But what is the main difference here?
I don't know.
They haven't got the oxygen destroyer from the first movie.
No.
Dr. Serizawa is dead. What are they going to do?
He shuffled off his mortal coil.
As always, military absolutely fails at stopping either of the
Blast
monsters.
Blast them with tanks.
They just let the two of them have at it. Godzilla finally gets the upper hand to Anguirus. It's not like he just suddenly disappears or anything. We have a definitive winner here. He takes Anguirus and basically incinerates him. You see it all on screen. It's very brutal, and for someone who later becomes a big friend of Godzilla in these movies, I actually kind of found it a bit concerning that they showed it in such a brutal fashion.
Godzilla's got the eye of the tiger. There you go.
We obviously had the standard thing in the first one, which was the suitmation for the character of Godzilla, was very large and bulky, but considering he had to fight a different kaiju in this one, they actually slimmed it down a little bit so he can have a bit more of a wiggle room.
Whoever's in Anguirus' suit, he's giving it what for.
Well, that's the thing, he has to crawl around on all fours.
And he really gets his punching mode in. Slap you, Godzilla.
Literally.
Bitch slap. Bitch slap.
Careful, they're collectibles, you know.
Okay.
They're the precious things.
They're the precious things. They're the shiny things.
So, Anguirus unfortunately has fallen to Godzilla's unimaginable fury. But how do they deal with Godzilla?
I have no idea. How do they? Yes, please tell me.
So, they lure him to the Arctic.
I do know.
And there's this great final scene in the movie where they entomb Godzilla in ice.
They blast the mountainside, don't they?
They blast the mountainsides and entomb him in the ice for a couple of years.
Yeah.
A couple of years. Till next movie.
There you go.
It's a good movie. If I had to rate this one out of 10, I would have to initially say that this was probably one of the last Godzilla movies I got around to watching. And I can see the almost negative response that people gave this. I can kind of see why that is in this movie, because it does feel a tiny bit rushed in places, and it doesn't really have the dramatic impact of the first movie.
I think
however, as a monster romp, and as basically the grandfather of monster romps, this is like a milestone in itself.
I was going to say,
what?
Given time, the years,
yeah,
it's become far more loved.
It's where the Monster Rumble began.
Exactly. This is the first proper monster punch up.
Exactly, and I love it for that fact.
And then from that point onwards, you just couldn't look back because it's just Monster Rumble. Monster. So. Everybody loves a Monster Rumble.
If I had to rate this out of 10, I have seen it a couple of times now, and it's kind of grown on me a bit. I'm going to give it out of 10 a 6.
And I'm going to give it a 6 as well.
I'm going to give it a 6.
6 as well, because I enjoy it. It takes me back to my childhood.
So if you think we're being harsh on our ratings, please let us know in the comments, or if you agree with us, let us know. It'd be great to find out what you think of Godzilla Raids Again. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see. It can be kaiju related. We have got plenty of Godzilla content coming, so stay tuned for all of that.
Give us any film franchise. We're happy to do it.
Happy to do it.
See you in the next one.